Hi, I'm Matthew Craig,
And I'm B. Dahlgren.
and this is our D&D mobile character creator. Here we are at our create account screen, so we're going to go ahead and create our first account. Jumping in, we have 0 characters in here, so let's go ahead and add one. We're going to name this one Aragorn. And moving on, we're able to pick a race for Aragorn. Defaults to elf. We can see some various stuff about elves here. We can click dwarf, halfling, gnome, whatever we want, but let's go ahead and make him a dwarf. Dwarves are known for their. We have information here. We got speed, size, vision, languages, and traits. Moving on, we're able to click a class.
So this has a really similar layout to our race selection screen where you can pick any one of these. It shows all the information you could ever want to know about a monk. And it'll show the skills that we're gonna get into later. But let's say we have a barbarian dwarf. And next we get to choose our background. So you can pick any one of these and it'll show all the information about it. Let's say our barbarian dwarf was a sailor at some point in his life.
Moving on to the specific screen, we're able to pick various proficiency bonuses here. So it says down here we're able to pick 2. Let's go ahead and pick 2. See, you can get animal handling and medicine skills. Moving on to languages, very similar. We're not able to unselect the ones given to us, but we are able to select one of our choice. So let's go ahead and pick undercommon for that. Moving on to our stat selection screen. This is the point buy system, D&D point buy system. These various values go up and down. So let's go ahead and make them really strong and really wise and very charismatic. Now that we have 0 points left, we are unable to increase them, or nor can we decrease them lower than 8. There are other ways to set our stats, and B's going to demo those now.
So first of these other options is standard array, where it gives us these 6 values, and you get to pick which one corresponds to which number. So let's say I want Constitution to be here. But you see how it is now red. That is because there's duplicates, and it won't let us hit next like this. So let's say, actually, I think Constitution should be 10. I changed my mind. I'm indecisive. So let's say that instead Strength is here. So now you see Strength this one no longer is a duplicate, so it's no longer red. So then one of our other options is the rolling dice. So you can roll the dice, choose an attribute, so Constitution, save your roll. Now Constitution is 13. You can roll the dice again, choose something else, like Charisma, save the roll. Charisma is 19. I could continue this for all of them, but just for time's sake, let's go back to point buy and hit next. So this is our little final scores. So this is these plus the race modifications, race bonuses.
Moving on to equipment screen, we can select various different weapons here. So let's go ahead and show a club. Basically, damage size 1d4. It's worth 0.1 gold pieces. It does bludgeoning, is property light, and weighs 2 pounds. Moving on to our weapons 3 and 4. These are our martial weapons. A bit more complex, but more high damage weapons. So let's go ahead and give him a short sword. Short sword does 1d6, costs 10 gold pieces, is piercing. And there we go. Weapons 3 and 4 are martial weapons. Weapons 1 and 2 are simple weapons. Continuing on to character traits, we can set various different character traits, such as neutral good, lawful good, chaotic good. Each one has a various descriptor down here. We can set a faith and a lifestyle for our characters. This works in the same way. We can set various different lifestyles for them. Over here in physical traits, we can set the various different physical traits that he has. So we can set hair brown, we can set eyes equal to blue. Coming down here, we can set his race or his gender as well. So let's do male. Coming over here, we have various different personal aspects we can give him and some notes that are tied to maybe your D&D campaign. Let's move on to our next screen.
So this screen will generate an image using the Wombo Dream API that uses AI to generate an image that gave us some confetti to signify that we've done it. We've created our character. This is what it has generated as Aragorn. So now you can see it's right here. Has the profile picture. If we had more characters, it would show up here in the list, but for now we just know that it's Aragorn, who is a dwarf barbarian. If we go in here, we have these 3 different sections to this screen. First we have the abilities, where it shows all of the stats we picked earlier, along with this little visual representation of those numbers, so we can see how unbalanced this poor character is, with negative bonus for dexterity. And it also shows the proficiencies where it has all those bonuses too.
Moving on to our weapon screen here, we can show various different weapons that we selected earlier. So we have none here because we didn't select any for weapons 2 or 3. Over here, though, we have the club, which shows a bludgeoning as a hammer. And then finally, a short sword, which shows a stabbing motion because it's piercing. But it has the damage type. Over here, the type of damage and the property. Finally, in the other screen, we can show the various different traits that we chose. So lifestyle, alignments, the languages that he speaks, and if we were to fill these in, these would be here as well. Finally, our last functionality will be to show that we can change or log out and switch accounts. So let's go ahead and log out now. So now that we're back to our login screen, we can go ahead and log back in. Let's log into my personal account, which is Matthew Craig 111 at gmail.com. And finally, we're going to type in a password here and click enter. This is our demo character that we set up to show that this works. Kind of jumping in, you can see a different profile image, the various different strengths and weaknesses, some weapons, and just the kind of the general stuff that we have set up in here. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching.